move to the dedicated Block 2 upgrade.
Gotcha. So this is a Block 1 launch, but we're flying some systems here, subsystems, components to get them some flight experience before you move to the full Block 2 rocket in the coming launches.
Yeah, I will brag a little bit for the structures. So there's a 7-foot increase to Alpha's length. Some of these couple upgrades. Oh yeah, you can see it really right there in the Stage 1 LOX tank. A lot of that 7-foot increase is coming from that tank. In addition, all of our barrels will now be made with the AFP. So all of our structures are carbon fiber composite. Flight 6 had the very first AFP tank. We flew our S2 LOX, was an AFP tank. And this time for Block 2, it will be all of them. Some more upgrades include consolidated batteries and avionics built in-house, an enhanced thermal protection system, and, just for you, we were testing some new in-house cameras.
Some new in-house cameras. I like camera upgrades. And AFP, that automated fiber placement system, that big CNC for placing fiber to increase the manufacturability, the repeatability, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But we continue to count down, approaching T-minus 13 minutes. It is a beautiful day out there right now. We've seen some foggy days, but right now it is looking great. Now, as part of this test flight, let's talk FTS, Flight Termination System.
Sure. So yeah, we've switched from FTS to AFTS. That is an automated flight termination system. FTS is just a safety system that's required by the range and the FAA on all launch vehicles, just to make sure that the rocket is within its nominal flight path and it's not at risk to the local area.
Gotcha. It used to be sort of a person in the loop, and that person was with the range, sort of standing by, watching the information, deciding to press that button. Automated is now, well, automated.
Automated, yeah. So it'll use an onboard computer system that detects if a vehicle is violating any safety rules in real time.
All right. Clock is continuing to tick. We are at 12.5 minutes now, folks. Let's talk about what we're trying to achieve. Why are we upgrading to Block 2?
Yeah, so our goal with Block 2 is to enhance reliability and manufacturability across our entire Alpha vehicle. So we're using Flight 7, which is this flight, as an opportunity to test multiple Block 2 subsystems ahead of actually flying them. So this includes that enhanced TPS, the thermal protection, as well as those in-house avionics I mentioned. We're going to be flying those in like a shadow mode kind of deal. So they're on the bus, but they're not driving the bus.
They're like they're watching the data, they're getting information, they're making decisions, but they're not actually controlling anything.
Yeah, so this allows us to gain flight heritage and validate lessons learned ahead of a full Block 2 upgrade on Flight 8.
All right. Now, I see the top of the rocket with the payload fairing there. Is there a payload in the payload fairing?
Yeah, we do have a test demo on board Flight 7, and it'll allow us to gather data for both Firefly and our customers. But as a test flight, the primary goal of this flight is to achieve nominal performance on Alpha's first and second stage.
All right. The clock is feeling really fast this evening, folks. It continues to count down here. If you're just joining us, it's Flight 7 of Firefly's Alpha rocket. The mission is called Stairway to 7. Now, Morgan, let's talk about how we got here, the road Firefly's taken to get to Flight 7.
Yeah, we've had our challenges, but Firefly is known for our perseverance. Last year we did have an anomaly during our Alpha Flight 6 launch, and even more recently we had a ground test anomaly at our facility in Texas that resulted in a loss of Alpha's first stage.
All right. That's how it goes. Like, space is hard. You get a rocket, you don't just design it on the computer and expect it to all be perfect the first time. You put it on this test stand, you fire it, you get some data. You put it on the launch pad, you launch it, you get some data, and you turn around and you make corrective actions. You make your system better. Tell me about the corrective actions that Firefly took.
Yeah, real-life data is king. So we immediately took action after both our anomalies and implemented corrective actions. These included optimizing first-stage sensors. They included adding additional first-stage TPS, and increasing inspection requirements across our systems. Not only that, but we also implemented a couple key process improvements across production, integration, test, all that good stuff. And we'll continue to improve our procedures with that focus on quality and reliability. So Flight 7 is our opportunity to kind of test and learn from many of the improvements that we've put in place.
All right. Coming up on T-minus 10 minutes now, y'all. It is exciting to see all the new things that they've improved on the rocket, especially getting the opportunity to fly some of those here in the Block 1 flight that you'll use on the future rockets. Now, to get ready for this launch over the last few days, what has the team been up to?
Yeah, so leading up to the launch, we did perform a static fire on the pad in Vandenberg. Oh, yep, there's the test video.
That's a replay. You can tell there's no fairing on top of it there.
Yeah, that was a replay of our static fire. This one was cool because it was 20 seconds long. It's much longer than we normally static fire. Even more recently, we did transport an encapsulated fairing with the payload inside to the pad, and then mated that fairing to Alpha. And then in the last 8 hours, we've configured the pad for flight, started propellant load, In total, it's over 3,000 individual manual steps and over 50 automation sequences to get to that point.
It's quite a checklist just to get that rocket onto the pad, reaching the flight for today. Now, as we continue on here, folks, we're going to get you some information on how you might be able to view the launch this evening. So, all the way down the west coast. Our trajectory this evening is about to the southwest, going out of Vandenberg. So we've got a graphic here that'll show you where you might be able to see from. And I want to remind you, we have a 2-hour window to work with. The sun's going to be setting in your eyes, so it might be a little bit difficult. But what you're going to do over on the west coast, if you're in LA, look out over the ocean to the west. San Diego might be able to see it. San Francisco, you're up there. Look down to the south and see if you can see Alpha flying through the sky. All the way over in the desert southwest, Phoenix, Arizona, if you look west, you might be able to see it. Salt Lake City, we're getting into some stretches here, but you never know. The conditions might be just right. We're still a significant amount of time before sunset, so we're not expecting that big sky show that we see sometimes. But hey, when you get down to T-minus 30 seconds, walk outside, take your phone so you can keep up with the broadcast and hear what's going on and see if you can see Alpha on the way down the coast. And if you get a shot, take it. Put it online if you want to on social media. Tag at Firefly Space. We love it when you share what you're able to see from your perspective. We have lots of cameras here, but we want everybody to know what's going on with Alpha. So things are starting to happen really fast here. Walk us through what's going to happen next, Morgan.
Yeah, so we just entered terminal count a few minutes ago. That happens at T-minus 15 minutes. This is a fully automated phase with over 300 commands and health checks, including at T-minus 8 minutes, we start fuel pre-press. At T-minus 7 minutes, so not quite, but almost, you'll see some stage 2 TVC wiggles. We're trying to make sure that those are smooth and moving. At T-minus 6 minutes, Alpha will transition to internal power. So right now it's hooked up to shoreside. Want to make sure that it can, be healthy under its own power before we can't take the ground with us. So we want to make sure that Alpha has its own batteries on board and that those are healthy. At T-minus 5 minutes and 45 seconds, those collar arms will open. I think there's a camera view pointed at them. They're these kind of like little clamps to provide additional stability, right? There you go. Yeah, there they are. They sit just below our stage 2 Alpha LOX tank. That's where that kind of white transitions to black.
Yep.
It's pretty windy out at Vandy. The rocket can more than stand on its own, but not only do the collar arms help support it when it doesn't need to stand on its own, but also the whole TEL. Stands for Transporter Erector Launcher.
Transporter Erector Launcher.
Yeah, we also call it the strong back. That whole thing will pull back and retract at T-minus 5 minutes just to clear the way for Alpha to lift off. T-minus 4 minutes, we do arm that AFTS system, that automated flight termination system.
Right.
And then at T-minus 3 minutes, we do begin fuel bleed.
Okay. Now the clock continues to tick. 6.5 minutes here. So just over 6 minutes from liftoff. After liftoff, things also continue to happen rapidly. Let's talk through some of the things we expect to see after liftoff.
Sure. So actually just before liftoff, at T-minus 2 seconds, we do light our stage 1 engines. So you'll see all 4 reavers light. We do this at T-minus 2 minutes not only to kind of like help them spool up into full power, kind of give them a second, but also just to make sure that they're healthy. If we needed to cut it then, we could cut it and make sure everything's safe. But yes, so we do light those engines at T-minus 2 seconds, and then at T-minus 0 is when we actually lift off from the pad. So there's some big clamping hold downs that release, and then Alpha starts to lift off. Stage 1 will be burning for a little over 2.5 minutes. At T plus 55 seconds, it will hit Mach 1. It'll go supersonic, break the sound barrier. Just shortly after that, it will experience max Q, which is maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Right.
It's what we size the rocket to, what I size my structures to.
Right.
And then, like I did mention, we will have MECO, which is main engine cutoff at T plus 2 minutes and 32 seconds. And then a couple things happen very quickly, very back-to-back. So you'll hit stage separation, stage 2 ignition, and nominal fairing jettison. Pretty rapid fire after that. Oh yeah, there you see.
Yeah, we've got the strong back retracting, and those clamps have opened there.
Yeah, there they go.
Outstanding.
Almost like it's a choreographed dance.
It is. There's a lot of manual steps and some automated processes that fire as well.
There's a lot of automation sequences.
Quite a checklist.
Let's see. And then that stage 2 will start firing at T plus 2 minutes and 38 seconds, and it'll go for about 5 minutes, a little over. At T plus 8 minutes and 2 seconds, we will have SECO, which is second engine cutoff. And then we will, coast for about 30 seconds before we will experience a planned stage 2 LOS. That is loss of signal.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so let's set a little bit of expectations here for the live stream. Because we're going into this planned loss of signal at just, was it 8.5 minutes after launch, we're not going to stay live for a long time after launch. We're going to stay live for about 10 minutes, and we will give you more information on how you can keep up with the ongoing mission after we lose signal from the rocket. But it's going to be a while. It's going actually out of the range of a ground station there. The rocket has to have line of sight to an antenna on the ground, basically. And as it goes over the curve of the Earth, I love that one graphic that shows the curve of the Earth. As the rocket goes over the curve of the Earth, it loses that line of sight to the ground station, so we stop getting that live telemetry back. So we will be stopping the broadcast intentionally. Make sure you check back on Firefly's social channels for updates on how the mission is going. But here at just under T-minus 4 minutes, we're rapidly coming up on this final launch poll. Here's what you're going to hear. The launch conductor is going to ask for a go, no-go from 3 important folks: the chief engineer, the launch director, and the range operations commander. We're going to go ahead and let you listen in to the launch net. We'll put some graphics up on the screen. We'll keep going through these fantastic views of the rockets. We upgraded some pad cameras as well. And let's see how this final go, no-go poll goes.
There will be a go, no-go at T-minus 3 minutes. Fuel bleeds starting. This is the final commit for launch. Chief Engineer.
Go.
Launch Director.
Go.
LDA.
LDA, go.
We are go for launch.
Outstanding. Folks, you heard it right there, direct from the countdown net. We are ready to launch Stairway to 7. That was that final commit to launch. The operators are going to hand off control. Morgan, how are you doing?
I feel great. I just love seeing Alpha standing out there. Even better to watch it fly. But seeing it out there on the camera is really just, it's just a big realization of the effort and just the hard work the teams took to get it to that point. There's so many people who do invisible work behind the scenes.
Yep. Everybody, the people that design the rockets, the folks that build it, test subsystems, build components, the folks out at Briggs that test the engines and do the structures testing out there. You've got to transport the rocket all the way over to Vandenberg. The teams out at Vandenberg that get it ready for launch. It truly does take teamwork to get this rocket here to the big event, launch day, right?
Yeah, it takes a village. It really does.
All right, so as we cross under 2 minutes here, folks, keep in mind all the folks who worked hard on this rocket that we see standing on the pad today. Here's the drill. We want you to connect with the rocket. We want to get you into the sights and sounds of the pad. We're going to turn on our pad microphones and let you listen in to the last 90 seconds here. But we are now just about T-minus 90 seconds away from Flight 7, Stairway to 7 for Firefly's Alpha rocket.
T-minus 1 minute.
Alarms in work.
T-minus 30 seconds. Fly high, Aaron.
Alpha's in autonomous mode.
Nominal stage 1 TVC motion.
Good rain curtain.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff of Alpha. Transition to ascent operations, PRC MLP 1435. Operators transition to ground channel for pad safing.
off-nominal O2 content.
Plus count.
T plus 1 minute. Mark.
Vehicle is supersonic. Max Q.
Good O2.
T plus 2 minutes. Mark.
You can see the rocket continuing downrange there. Now's the time to be looking out to the west. See if you can catch Alpha from your perspective. Remember, over on social, tag us at Firefly Space.
Miko.
Stage separation.
Stage 2 ignition. Chamber pressure looks nominal.
Looks like we had a little bit of a delay on that one
T
camera.
plus 3 minutes.
There's that booster falling back to the Earth.
Yep. So it does look like some of those experimental cameras we had on board, we were not getting a signal. We wanted to show them to you on the live show. Well, maybe we got them back. Hey, I'll take it. They heard me talking, Morgan.
Yeah, they heard you talking bad.
So here we see stage 2 continuing on. Curve of the Earth in the background. That might actually be the sort of point of Vandenberg. You can see the coast in the background there.
I would love to confirm for you, but I'm awful at geography.
T plus 4
Now this
minutes.
is a longer burn.
Mark.
As that stage 2 starts to pick up that orbital velocity. Stage 1 is really about getting up out of the denser atmosphere, getting some altitude. Here, stage 2's job is to accelerate around the planet. Getting in orbit is sort of a game of going fast enough that as you fall towards the Earth, it curves away from you and you miss it. So just adding velocity, you can see on the telemetry there in the lower left-hand corner. Back in mission control. Everybody keeping an eye on all the data that's coming back down.
Man, you can't really see the flames themselves, but you can see the heat that
Yeah.
the flames make in that nozzle extension.
The sort of radiation, the black body radiation, the red glow there coming through the nozzle. This is where that plume has really expanded. There's just no atmosphere to make the little
T plus
pencil
5
flame,
minutes.
right?
Mark.
Yeah. As a reminder, we will be burning until T plus 8 minutes and 2 seconds. That's when we should experience SECO.
Now's a good time. If you're watching the live stream, let us know. Were you able to see Alpha? Do it right there in the chat. If you saw it, tell us where you were watching from. Or, hey, if you didn't see it, say, I was watching from Portland and didn't quite see it. The sun was in our eyes, or whatever your situation was. But we would love to see what y'all were able to see.
T plus 6
Continuing
minutes. Mark.
downrange, coming up on. I didn't need to say it. T plus 6 minutes.
Yeah, those folks in the control room, they're on it. Man, what a beautiful shot.
That is fantastic.
You know, we put those onboard cameras on just for you.
I appreciate that. I like to say we put them on for the viewers. They're probably actually for the engineers, but you know. Now, as a reminder, we do expect that SECO at T plus 8 minutes, so just over a minute from now. And we do have an expected loss of signal. The stage 2 will be going over the curve of the Earth, no longer have direct line of sight.
T plus
back
7
to
minutes.
that ground
Mark.
station that is sending us these fantastic views right now. So we'll give you a little bit more information about how you can keep up with the mission. As Alpha continues its way. Just about 30 seconds left in the burn here.
AFSS has reached end of mission.
Good prop performance.
T plus 8 minutes. Mark.
SECO. Nominal orbit insertion.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. You know what to do with cameras there on the rocket? Just a little bit of a desync, but we will take it. You heard the call out, SECO, and then you saw, just a couple seconds later, the latency from that fantastic looking camera, by the way. Thank you, Firefly. Came through there, but we are just about to come up on that expected loss of signal. I honestly wonder if we can't just watch this until the feed stops coming in.
I'm completely okay with that.
But stage 2 now coasting. You heard the call out, the nominal orbital insertion call out there. It is exactly what we wanted to see. There goes some frames, and I feel like that is the curve of the Earth blocking our camera feed now. Morgan? How about that?
That never gets old. I love watching
on
off
Future
Liftoff.
Earth.
Seriously, it's just...
There we go.
Don't want to talk over him. It's amazing seeing all that hard work just go.
That was quite smooth.
That was very smooth.
Yeah. All right. So what can we expect next? We know we're in this planned comms blackout, but...
Yeah, so once we do regain comms, once we pass over another ground station, the teams will review the data, to confirm nominal performance. So stay tuned for Firefly socials for more updates, because again, we won't stay live for those 40 plus minutes to an hour.
Yep. And over there we do have the social media handle. It's at Firefly Space. If you want to tag us, let us know if you saw it. Let us know how you're feeling. This was a fantastic launch to see here. We were trying to be quiet so you could just listen in on CD1 and stuff. Every time the camera cut to us, you could see our eyes were glued to the screens watching all of our feeds come back in here. But if you were on the West Coast and you saw Alpha, please get some shots over on social media. Let us know what you were able to see from your perspective as we had that call out of nominal orbital insertion for Firefly's Flight 7 of the Alpha rocket. That is going to bring us to the end of our live broadcast for today. The reason y'all stick around to the end is to see if I actually catch the shirt they throw me. But you didn't get to see the shirt that time. If you want to, I guess, adorn yourself in Firefly swag, you can head over to fireflymerch.com. You can pick up, I think there's mission patches, there's t-shirts, there's hats and all sorts of stuff. It's actually some really cool designs they've got going here. So you can be a part of the team, a small part of the team for the missions here today. Morgan? as always, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and congrats to the entire Firefly team, and thanks to all the viewers joining us. I think we're going to end with a bit of a launch replay, and
Yep, I
we'll
think
see you
we've got
next
some
time.
replays coming up here. But as always, folks, we do appreciate you joining us. Make sure you stay tuned on social media for mission updates for Firefly Flight 7. Mission was Stairway to 7. Let's see if we can roll some replays. We appreciate you watching, and we will see you later.
Bye, guys.
Release system is armed.
Vehicle has transitioned to autonomous mode. We are go for launch. 3,